Welcome back, guys, and we are back just in time for the release of the full game of Football Manager, which should be out in time, probably about an hour. That game should come out before this episode comes out. And guys, I will be making even more content with the full version once this beta version has finished, and other hints and tips videos if that's what you guys want to see. But if you would like to see more content from myself going forward, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. But enough of that. Let's get into deadline day because we need players. And straight away, as you can obviously see there, I've come into the squad planner. We are in our squad depth. And I am not joking when I say I have 2 centre-backs. I have 2 centre-backs left. That's it. No more. No in. Full-backs, same. Spoiler alert there with a new player, but we'll get into that in a moment. I'm not too worried about other positions. I don't think I need other positions. Plenty of depth there, although I've got plenty of money in case I want to bring somebody in there. So just looking into why we don't have any centre-backs left. First of all, Eric Dyer decided to sign a pre-contract with Real San Sebastian, only for me to offer them. Basically said, do you want to sign him now? And I got around £10 million for him. He was going anywhere, so off he went. We then saw David Sanchez leave to Besiktas, and again for a small fee, £2.7 million. I'm not too sure if he'd already gone the last episode, but he went because he was going to be out of contract anyway. Joe Rodon then officially left for around £15 million to Leicester in the Championship, as I don't imagine they're going to be there for very long. That's not them. Oh, maybe they will be there a bit longer than expected. But he left for £50 million to Leicester, so that's another play off the books. And as you guys recall before, I was open to letting Emerson Royale leave for around £60 million to the Saudis, and that is a ridiculous wage. He's gone there. No way is he valued at that. That's just not possible. But he's gone there and £675,000 a week. Oh, no wonder he was happy to go. But in terms of incomings, we did eventually agree a deal to bring this guy in. He does want me to improve the coaching, so let's see how happy he is with what I've got planned there. But he was brought in for around £54 million overall. And he's done well so far. He could play in a variety of positions, deep lying playmaker. He could do the defensive midfielder, and I'm pretty sure he could do your central midfielder as well. So he can cover 2 places there. And I think it's an absolutely fantastic deal there. And then we did bring in a brand new right back to replace Emerson Royale, although I might need to bring in another one as well. But this guy was brought in. Henriks seems to be doing really, really well. Look at those. I'm glad he's only played once. £22 million, which I think was an absolute steal. Brought him in. Good overall stats. Good general age for the length of the series here. As you can see, we have got a few bits in the works as well. We did actually agree a fee for Trent Alexander-Arnold in the end for about £29.5 million. But I'm sort of reluctant to sign him now because, yeah, he would be good, but the wages he was looking at, I think he's looking at around about £300,000 a week. And I'm not too sure whether I want to pay him that much. I feel like I could get decent out there. So that one is still, will be decided by the end of today's episode. We do have Eric Garcia coming in, formerly of Manchester City. Again, around £15 million, nothing too expensive. I might have all that money, but one thing I have got to be aware of is because when it comes to signing of players, the thing that's hindering me signing me whoever I want is this minimum of 8 players trained. So because I only have 6 at the moment, it restricts how many I can sign. So I've either got to sign players under the age of 21 or sign players that fall under that bracket. And Garcia falls under both. Well, for both, but he falls under the bracket of having been counting as towards the minimum players there. So that's not too bad. We do also have a bid in for Konza at Aston Villa. Again, the English factor was part of the reason why I decided to bring him in, because I will have Chris Romero and Schottlebeck as my main two centre-backs for now. So I didn't want to just pile out £78 million on a player that I'm not too sure would start for me. Now, this one is subject to Aston Villa bringing someone in. That's the only way they would agree a realistic fee for him. So that one might not happen, but I am going to have to act quickly. If that one doesn't happen, I'm going to have to bring in another player at centre-back. And for reasons unknown to even me, I did go and bid. Maybe it's just trying to spend some of that money. I did go and bid for this 18-year-old Vitor Roque, which by the sounds of what I can see on Twitter is quite popular anyway. Not to me, but he's quite popular. £21 million. You just want to be quite an important player for myself. Again, another striker. I was actually open to loaning him out for the rest of the season, but I don't know if I'll get him in time. But then I am still going to bring him in, but then I did notice he is out for 3 to 6 months. So the chances of us seeing him this season, very, 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 very slim. There was one other piece of tactical news, which again was the reason why I might be looking at bringing in a second right back, is mulling over Pedro Porro's stats, looking at his marking stats and things like that, his positioning. So his defensive positioning, his marking stats really are not that good for a defender, but his ability to get in attacking positions, his ability to cross a ball, his acceleration, his bravery, his flair. I've got him training as an attacker, as a winger, and I'm not going to sell him. I'm actually going to try and see how well he could do for us up on that right-hand side, because if you've got a crossing of 17 and you're playing further up that pitch, I mean, that can only be a good thing, surely. So that's going to be my experiment of this save. Let's see how that goes. In terms of potential outgoings for today, I am looking at Tanganga, who I think that actually could benefit us, because Aston Villa want to bring in a player so we can sign their centre-back, and they're the ones that have asked for Tanganga on loan, so I'm hoping that will trigger that. In terms of other outgoings, Reguilon, I'm still looking to sell, but actually nobody seems to want to be interested in him. Skip is another one, which again was requested to leave, and trust me, mate, I'm trying. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you. The Saudis are really taking a good look at Benteke, and so far I've rejected any bids for him. And Perisic is another one. He is unregistered, and I actually tried to convince him to leave, but he actually said he wants to, can he stay? So, I don't know. I'm not expecting him to leave. I will be trying on deadline day today, but I'm not expecting him to leave. So today's plan, by the end of deadline day, we should have at least 2 new centre-backs, 1 new right-back, and hopefully clear out 2 or 3 more players, and maybe a surprise signing here and there. But let's not wait any longer. Let's just whiz through deadline day. And I will just keep going through deadline day, and any news, then I'll come straight back to you guys. See you at the other side. Oh, and just one bit of breaking news before we carry on in deadline day. I can't believe I forgot to mention this. I was all worried about playing Manchester City or Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final, because they both beat us recently. Well, it was Manchester City that actually went on to win that game. But no need to worry. I did play them in the league, and God knows how I did it, but I absolutely battered them 4-0. Absolutely fantastic. So I just thought I'd quickly share that with you guys. So don't judge me on it. Don't ask how I'm going to make it work, because I do like our new right back. But Trent Alexander-Arnold did agree to join us on £350,000 a week, obviously. And, well, I said yes. So I don't know how the hell I'm going to play all these new players. I might have a plan. But at the moment, we've got too many right backs and no centre backs. So all's going well, guys. And that is also Vitor Roque confirmed to be in. As I said, he is out for 3 to 6 months. So any chance of loaning him out or playing him, not at all. But I feel like he's someone who we could bring in for next season. Actually, scrap that. Victor Rugg isn't coming in at all, apparently. He failed his medical. Fair enough. I get it. He's out for 3 to 6 months. But I was thinking, he is only 18-year-old. I was thinking not long term for the save, but long term on here. They don't know I'm not going to be here long term. So Tottenham won't let me sign him. So no Victor Rugg. In other news though, Tanganga is going to go to Aston Villa, and I'm hoping that then is going to trigger the move for that centre back to join us, but we'll soon find out. And as I expected, that is exactly what happened. Konza has come in, and I can't believe I paid that much for him. What was I thinking? Clearly, this is the problem when you've got so much money still to spend. You kind of don't worry about how much you're negotiating. Kind of just spend it. But it's a beta save. Who the hell cares? Let's just go get some trophies and do what we need to do. And he was swiftly followed by Eric Garcia. Yeah, squad player could still improve. That's fine. Kind of what I want to use him for anyway. Nothing significant. Only £15 million. He is happy to be a squad player. There's a sensible one, this. So I'm quite happy with this one just to fill in the gap. But what that does do is, that does give us our four centre-backs there and way too many right-backs. Well, that's transfer deadline day done, guys. After the signing of confirmation of those centre-backs and a new right-back, I did have a look at a few players, but it felt like signing for signing's sake. Players like Julian Alvarez at Manchester City. But then that means I would have 3 first-team strikers in a one striker setup. Seemed a bit daft to spend that just to have unhappy players. I did maybe look at bringing another wonder kid in, but again, there wasn't anything that was jumping out. So that still leaves us with £101 million left still. Again, who knows towards the end of the season? Projections looking pretty good as well. Who knows, towards the end of the season, we might bring in someone ready for next season. Because I am looking long-term at the likes of Richarlison, which the problem is he's doing really, really well. So I'm almost reluctant to replace him, but at the same time, do I feel like I can get better? Yes. And then when we hopefully be playing European football next year, I kind of want to add that squad depth in there as well. But let's just conclude what's happened in the January transfer window. We did go and bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold for, it was around £29 million, which is cheap. His wages are not, however. I don't really know what I'm going to do with him there. Because I did also, as you remember, guys, I did bring in this guy, and he's doing really, really well for us. And he kind of suits that role that I want to play there, so God knows. We then did bring in Konza as a centre-back. Probably spent too much on him. But English centre-back, great cover. Again, long-term, I'm quite happy with both my centre-backs, and they're both still at a relatively young age. So I don't feel any need to change them. And Eric Garcia just to make that 4th centre-back nice and cushy with a bit of squad depth in there. We didn't, however, manage to get rid of any of the signings we wanted to. So as you can see, well, you can't really see because I sort of took him out. Skip is kind of still here. I did try and loan Harvey Barnes out. Sergio Reguilon is still here. I probably should have let Adogi go back on loan because Southampton wanted back. Perisic, again, no interest. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to register them all. But in all places now, I know striker only says 2, but there is a few players that can play there if needs be. But we are looking like we've got good depth in all places as well now, and still with £101 million to spend if I wanted to. So this January transfer window, considering this is taken into account, I signed players after there. So from there is where I sign players. So I've brought in about £500 million worth of transfers. Seems like a lot because it is. And in terms of outgoings, I have gone and sold £402 million worth of signings, even if half of that was by 2 players. But still, So technically, I've only actually spent like £100 million. So I guess that's not too bad for a first season at Tottenham. Nevertheless, what that does leave us is with a squad of some decent ability there, plenty of goalkeepers, 3 world-class-ish right backs, 4 centre-backs, plenty of depth there, plenty of depth in every other position, bringing in players like Nunes and Cop Minas, and also bringing in the likes of, I don't know where he's gone now, signing there. And our attack is pretty much brand new with Diaby, Kulusevski, Porro now going in there, Barnes might play, I don't know, Rasmus Højlund and Richarlison up front. What's this very, very quick episode of Deadline Day is going to do? It is going to be concluded here, and I will be back probably either tomorrow or the next day for the Carabao Cup final. Can we bring trophies back to Tottenham in our first season? All we've got to do is beat Manchester City. Just again, guys, if you do enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the episode, comment down below, let me know what you're thinking of my transfers, let me know what you think I should do with that 100 million. Have I spent too much? Have I not spent enough? Have I been a bit too sensible for a bit of save? You guys let me know what you're thinking, and I'll see you guys Carabao Cup final. It's one of those where if you win it, it matters. So let's go win it.